Right, hello students. So in this last video in our review of our health unit, we're going to talk about going to the doctor's office. We're going to talk about making an appointment and what we do to feel better when we're sick and how we like to stay healthy, right? So first things first, our words are interpreter and translator. Right, we talked about this in our classes. It's important for you to know you are allowed to ask for an interpreter or a translator who speaks your language when you go to the doctor's office, right? Someone who speaks your language that knows special words for medicine and your body, right? Even if you go to the doctor with your husband or your wife or your sister, right? Someone who knows better English than you, you're still allowed to ask for an interpreter. So, very good. So, moving on. What is this man? Right, he is a doctor. He is a doctor. If you see this, DR, written, right, Dr. Smith, right, you can remember that capital D, lowercase r, dot, we pronounce that doctor. It's like Mr. or Mrs., but special because he went to a lot of school. Very good. And this woman, who is she? Right, she is a nurse. Very good. She is a nurse. Right, nurses also go to school for a long time to learn how to help you feel better. She is a nurse. Very good. And what about this woman? Who is she? Right, she's a receptionist. A receptionist. Right? She says, "Hello, Dr. Smith's office. How can I help you?" Right? A receptionist. Very good. Sometimes nurses also act as receptionists, I think. All right, so when you go to the doctor, right, this is the doctor, and they help you, this man, he is a patient, right? He is a patient. And when you go to the doctor and they help you, you are a patient. Very good. So, when you call the doctor and you say, "Hello, I would like to make an appointment," right, to see Dr. Smith, to see Dr. Gonzalez, right? I would like to make an appointment. So, next word we talked about was when you go to the doctor's office, you go to reception. You say, "Hi, my name is Amy. I have an appointment with Dr. Smith at 10:30. The receptionist will tell you, "Please have a seat," right? So you sit in the waiting room. You wait in the waiting room. After that, you go see the doctor in an exam room, right? In an exam room. We talked about how we take a test of English, right? An English exam to start our classes. So when you go to the exam room, right, the doctor gives your body a test, or the nurse actually also, right? And we'll talk about what they examine. Moment. Oh, well, I guess it's right here. Right, so first thing in the exam, they check your height, right? How tall you are. The nurse checks my height. Height is how we pronounce that. And we also check our weight. The nurse checks my weight. Weight. Right, how heavy, right? How heavy are you? Right? So in the United States, height is in feet and inches. Feet and inches. Example, I am 5 feet, 6 inches. And then the nurse checks my weight. Weight is in pounds, right? Or we see it abbreviated LBS, pounds. Nurse checks your height and weight. They also check, right, if you have a fever or not, right? This is temperature. Temperature is degrees, right? You measure temperature in degrees. So height is feet and inches. Weight is in pounds. Temperature is in degrees. Degrees Fahrenheit, specifically. Some of you may be used to Celsius. Right, so the nurse checks my temperature. Right, so normal body temperature is about 98 degrees Celsius, and I believe that's about 98 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 37 degrees Celsius. Right, so degrees Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit. So again, this is our normal body temperature, right? How hot we are. So 37 Celsius, 98.6 Fahrenheit, right? So that's how we would say that little dot. We would say point. Very good. So a little bit more about degrees and temperature. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, and that's the same as 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Same temperature, different names. So, and then water boils at 100 degrees Celsius and about 212 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So that's just the different degrees scales to give a bit of a point of reference. Right, moving on, going back to the exam. What is this? Right, good, the nurse checks my pulse. Right, we practice finding our pulse, right? You can feel boom, 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 right? You can feel boom, 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 your heartbeat. We practice finding our pulse in our wrist. You can find your pulse in your wrist and your neck, most commonly. And then the nurse would also check your blood pressure. Your blood pressure. Very good. Then the doctor comes in and asks, what's wrong? Right? What's the problem? What's the matter? What hurts? What's wrong? So this is more of the exam. The doctor will listen to, right? So lungs. The doctor will listen to your lungs that are in your chest, and they will listen to your boom, 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 your heart. Lungs and heart are both in our chest. Next, the doctor looks. The doctor looks in your ears, nose, and in your mouth. Right, so I actually have a bit of a cold right now, so the doctor would say, oh, you're not healthy. So, very good. Next, we talked about how you get better and stay healthy. Right? So first thing, how do you get better? Right? Get a lot of rest is something we talked about. To get better, I get a lot of rest. Rest means sleep, but rest also means no exercise. Don't go to work. Don't go see people, right? Rest. Just relax. Good. Next, drink a lot of fluids. Your doctor might tell you, drink a lot of fluids. Fluids could mean water. Fluids could mean tea or Gatorade, right? But nothing like sugary soda or alcohol, right? So drink healthy fluids. This one's easy, right? Next, to stay healthy, you should wash your hands, right? To wash your hands. It helps keep other people from getting sick as well. Next, you could take a shower, right? Usually you feel better after you take a shower. So, next word we talked about is when you get other people sick. You have a cough, and then the next day, your husband has a cough. Your children have a cough. Right? You gave them that sickness. So we call that being contagious. So when you get other people sick, you are contagious. You are contagious, right? So during COVID-19, we washed our hands, we stood far apart, we wore masks, right? Because COVID is very contagious. We don't want to get other people sick. So that's our word, contagious. It's a big word. So, all right, moving on. When I'm sick, something I do to get better, I want to take the right medicine. I want to take the right medicine. For medicine, it is important to read the labels. It's important to read the labels, right? So these are pills, right? So maybe I feel very, very sick. I feel so bad. I want to take 8 pills, right? I want to take 8 aspirins. That's how bad I feel. Should I do that? I should not, right? I need to read the label, and it will tell me take 2 every 6 hours. Take 2 tablets, 2 pills every 6 hours, no more. Otherwise, that could make you more sick, right? So it's important to read the label. Very good. Moving on, we started talking more about what we do to stay healthy. Once we're better and not sick, what do you do to stay healthy? Good. We talked about moving your body to stay healthy. That is called exercise, right? People like to get exercise. You could lift weight, you could stretch, you could go running, right? Exercise. You could also do sports. We talked a lot about sports. So, moving on, another thing we do to stay healthy is eat good food, right? So, diet, right? A healthy diet is important to stay healthy. So, right, this is an example of some healthy foods. So, this food, it looks so good. It tastes so good. A lot of people really like these foods, myself included. I like French fries. I like burgers. I like pizza, right? But if you eat only French fries, only burgers, only pizza, no vegetables, that's unhealthy, right? You might get sick, you might get fat, unhealthy. So most people eat both healthy and unhealthy foods, and that's good, right? That's okay. Some unhealthy, some healthy. If you eat only pizza, no good, right? Only pizza is unhealthy. So a good mix. We also talked about, what is this, right? Candy. I like candy, but what if I eat 12 candies in one day? What if I only have candy for lunch, right? I would throw up. I would be very sick. Right, so some candy, good, no problem. A lot of candy, not so good, right? Very good. So that's something else. Last word that we learned officially, right? We want to avoid too much alcohol, too many drugs. We want to avoid, right? That means stay away from, no good. Right, maybe if I have 1 glass of wine with dinner, 2 glasses of wine, that's okay. But if I drink 6 bottles of wine, no good, too much, right? Maybe, so too much. Avoid too much. A little bit is okay, right? No problem. So, another example of things we avoid, right? If you see this dog, right, you don't go, oh, it's so cute, I want to give you a pet, I want to give you a hug, right? No, we want to avoid, stay away from this dog, right? Same with a snake, right? This is a snake, ugh, we don't want to go, oh, you're so cute, right? No, ugh, stay away, avoid snakes, avoid mean dogs, avoid. In the same way, we want to avoid too much alcohol, too many drugs. And then we had some writing homework. To stay healthy, I do exercise. To stay healthy, I do not smoke 20 cigarettes a day, right? So, and then we also had some discussion questions, right? Some question word practice. Some things for you to think about when it comes to staying healthy, going to the doctor. So I will read some of these questions to you, just for you to think about. And I would love to hear from some of you, right? So, all right. Face out of the way. Right, so how many times in a year do you get sick? Right now, this is my second time, my second time getting sick this year. I used to never get sick. I think being a newlywed has made me more sick. Okay. Another question, how do you find a new doctor, right? Do you look on the internet, on your phone? Do you call a friend and say, who's your doctor? Can they help me? Right? How do you find a new doctor? Next, have you ever broken a bone? And if so, how? How did you break a bone? Right? When I was little, I broke an ankle riding my bike. I hit a mailbox, right? There was a bumblebee. I got distracted. Or I also broke my arm, right? I broke my elbow, actually. I fell off of the same bike. I was riding my bicycle and my butterfly net, right, got stuck in my wheel. So, moving on. How do you feel about getting shots, right? About getting vaccines, right? They're no fun. They hurt. Right, even though they hurt, do you still think they're good for you or no? Right, how do you feel about getting shots? How do you feel about to go to school? Your children have to get shots, right? That is a rule. That is a law. How do you feel about that? Is that a good rule or not so good? Right, so that's something to think about. And then thinking about what is it like going to the doctor in your country? Is it different than here? Is it more expensive or more cheap? Right, I think America is known for having very expensive healthcare, expensive doctors. So, yep, so those are some discussion questions about health and staying healthy. Right, and that is our health unit. You guys did a great job learning with us. Thank you so much.